You are staring at my entire bookish collection, and let's get rid of all of them. Obviously I'm just kidding, but I do want to declutter. I want to get rid of books that I'm not going to reread or ones that I didn't enjoy, because one, I am moving back home after uni, so I need to kind of make some space. I ideally want to get all of my read books onto this shelf here and get rid of this one here. I don't really like the way that that one looks. Two, I can't even remember the points that I was going to make, so let's go through it shelf by shelf and see which books we're keeping and which books we are getting rid of. Did I also mention that we're going to be reorganizing the shelves as well, so if you like that kind of thing, definitely stick around. You can't even see me, I'm not a very good YouTuber. Okay, obviously at the top I've got all of my like bookish decorations and some Jellycat dupes as well. But I'm going to firstly take off all the little accessories and then we can get to the books because they're kind of in the way. This is so cute. This is what I got myself and Eduardo for Valentine's the other year. It's like the stars the night that we met. Okay, so now that I've taken the accessories off, there isn't actually that many books on the shelf. So I do have the Cruel Prince trilogy. These books are going to fall as soon as I move them. Cruel Prince trilogy. And I do think that I'm going to keep this just because I did really enjoy this series and I also like the way they look together. It will be quite rare for me to get rid of a series, but I do know one that I'm getting rid of, you'll see in a bit. But yeah, I'm going to keep this one, put it in the keep pile. And then next up, the Caraval trilogy, easy question, absolute keep. I've got the Priory of the Orange Tree duology, and then we have the prequel, which is A Day of Fallen Night. These books are insane. They are like 800 to 900 pages each, but honestly, don't be scared of the size. It is such a journey and you will not regret reading them. To our next shelf, to be fair, a lot of the top is probably gonna be a keep. So Wings of Starlight by Alison Saft, keep. The Belladonna series, I've only got the first two, but I need to get Wisteria in paperback as well because this series is like a ride or die for me. And then I have the Legend series. If you haven't heard of this or haven't read it, please pick up. It's dystopian. I'll say if you like Hunger Games, Divergent, like dystopian vibes, this is definitely the one for you. And it's YA, I loved it so much. These next three, Legends of Lattes, definitely keep. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, another keep. I loved these two. These two are like the two cozy books that I would recommend in like the autumn, fall time. And then I've got The Serpent of Wings and Night, and this is going to be a maybe just because it wasn't one of my favourites and I did struggle to get through it a little bit. However, I do have the second book, I think, on my TBR shelf. So I think maybe I'll keep this until I've read that one and decide if I'm going to get rid of the whole series or keep it. And then my prized possession, my Twilight hardbacks. I mean, it's got to be a keep. These are hefty though, so good luck to me when I actually move. Next shelf, this one is going to be pretty easy again because these are like the romances that I've really loved, that I've wanted on kind of like the middle of the shelf on display. So very easy. The entire Boys of Tommen series. Obviously I haven't read Taming 7 and Releasing 12, I want to say the new book is called, so they're on my TBR. I still need to get the physical of Releasing as well. Then the Chestnut Spring series, I feel like every book lover started out here and it only went up from there. Next up, the Windy City series. This is without a doubt my favourite series of all time, so I wish I could have those special editions that have been released in the US. I think maybe once I finish uni I will save up and try and get my hands on them. Then I've got my Hannah Bowman Young collection, so I've got Next to You, Next of Kin and Out on a Limb. Once again, easy keep. My Lynn Painters, Better Than Movies, nothing like the movies, so good. And then I've got the Last Letter, the Love Hypothesis, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and then the Lido. Guys, I don't hear anyone talking about this, but I've recently read it and it's so beautiful and so heartwarming. I seriously recommend. But these are all going to be a keep. I'm not very good at getting rid, let's face it. Starting to get a bit more interesting now because we could have a few get rids, but honestly, Probably not. Okay, Crimson Moth, loved this, like a witchy version of Powerless by Lauren Roberts. The entire Shatter Me series, this is literally the series that got me into my reading obsession, got me onto Book Talk, and eventually where I made my booktube as well, so I thank this series for everything. Then the Powerless trilogy, obviously Fearless is out by Lauren Roberts, but I haven't read it yet just because Reckless wasn't one of my favourites, and yeah, I think I kind of put off, but I have heard that it is a lot better. And I do just like all of these together. I have the second two in the sprayed edition versions as well. Hunger Games series, easy yes. Nightbane and Like Lark. See, if you've seen one of my reading vlogs before, not the biggest fan, but it did get better. But I just think they're beautiful covers, so I feel like that's just to keep based off that. Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, easy, and these are like so hard to get and expensive as well, so I don't think I'd ever get rid of them. And the last one on the shelf, The Theatre of Glass and Shadows. This is a really good book, and once again one that I haven't heard many people talking about. It's almost very similar to Caraval, but in a less magical sense, like we're following a theatre that kind of pops up now and again in London, and there's a lot of mystery going on, like people dying. Really interesting and really gripping as well. Okay, I think I'm going to start being a bit more brutal here, because automatically seeing one that I will be decluttering, this is Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. I just couldn't get into this. It was too one-dimensional characters for me, and I see so many people hyping this up and I really don't see why. So that is our first no of probably about 60 books, but we got there in the end. We're at least getting rid of one book. Get rid, I'm actually probably going to take these to like a little free library. So they're these things that look like little post boxes, and you can put books in there so people can go there and pick them up, and you can maybe trade. And I think that's a really good way of kind of passing on loved things. Carrie Soto is back. This was enjoyable, but I don't think I'll ever reach for it again. So I think this is also going in the no. I really am trying to make room and make space, so I do have to be a little bit brutal. Behind the Net, wasn't the biggest fan, but I do have the Fake Out to read, so I'm going to keep this, and I really do just love a sports romance ice hockey cover. Next up, Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I loved this one. It was so summery, reminded me of Camp Rock. Keeping. Wild Love Out of Silver will be rude to get rid of, to be honest. Happy Place by Emily Henry, one of my favourites. Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. This could possibly, it's going to be a maybe for now, but I think I will keep it just because my boyfriend did get it for me and I did enjoy it, and it's really nice pink and looks good on my shelf. This is so hard. Love Game by Emma Ray. I honestly might see if my mum actually wants the ones that I am kind of passing on. We shall see. The next up, yeah, Love Game by Emma Ray. This is probably gonna be in the nose because I don't think I'll ever reach for this again. It was fun, but it was like heavy on the cheating trope, and I'm really not about that. Next up, I've got my my paperback copy of Magnolia Parks, but I'm getting rid of this just because I do have the lovely special editions, which I just prefer a lot more. I can't even pick them up, they're so heavy, but the really beautiful ones, yeah, I have got a reading vlog of this whole series, which is spoiler free as well, if you wanted to go and check that out. And next up, The Storyteller of Auschwitz. Really, really beautiful historical fiction book, but I'm going to get rid. The Inheritance Games, I don't know why I haven't carried on this series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, but I'm going to keep it anyway just because I do want to see what the fuss is about, because this was enjoyable. Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is going in the no piles. I did enjoy it, but I won't ever reach for it again, and honestly I got this copy off Vinted and it's so battered anyway. They Both Die at the End. A really, really sweet book, but once again it's not going to be a book that I'm gonna reread, and not one that I kind of want to use for like content and things like that, so I'm gonna put this in the no pile. And we have the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, keeping mainly for the cover, and two, I want to read the whole series, even though it's not like the best thing since sliced bread, it's just, you know, it does the job. Then we've got Luck of the Draw. I'm probably gonna put this in the no just because it was like a 2.5 stars, I think. Like, it was okay, but nothing worth taking up a space on my shelf that another book could. Then Something to Tell You by Lucy Diamond, definitely keeping this. This is still the first book that I've read of hers, and definitely recommend this if you're into like almost like a reality reality TV. There was a lot of gossip and drama within this, and yeah, it just kept me so hooked the whole time. Okay, tomorrow, you're gone. Evan, husband to Evan, Hugo, you're staying. Played by Ali Hazelwood. This is controversial, but I really enjoyed this, so I'm keeping it. And then I have the duology of If He Had Been With Me and If Only I Had Told Her. I just love having these together on my shelf. Love the first book, didn't really like the second, but it's a memory that I can physically remember, and I feel like I want that memory for a long time. It's also boiling in here, and oh, I'm so tall, it's hurting my back to do this, but it's worth it. You probably can't see me anymore because we're at the very bottom level, but these are actually going to have a lot of get rids in. Obviously the Saint series by Sierra Simone, dark romance, not for me, that's going. And then also going is the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. I just basically yeah, I didn't enjoy any of these books, to be honest, and I went into it thinking they were Disney retellings, which they kind of are, but they're really not, because they are about drug lords and gang members and different things like that, so definitely not for me. Next up, another get rid. I feel like all my get rids are on this bottom shelf, so we saved it. Another get rid, the book that would have been by Mark Lawrence. I'd seen so many people loving this, but I hated it. I think it was like my lowest rated book ever. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This could have been so good, and I wanted it to be, but it was so boring. I will not continue on with the series, even if it is like a beautiful cover as well. I've again got 3 Christmas books, which I think I will keep because I feel like it's nice to have a little selection, and I read all of these last year, so maybe I'll keep these for like my mum to read or recommending them to a friend as well. Next up is 10 Dates by Rachel Dove. I think this is going to be a no, just purely because I have read it now and I'm not going to reach for it again. Same with Always on My Mind by Beth Moore, and like this was a nice read at the time, but I think this is definitely one that I'll be passing on. Next on the shelf, I've got the first few books in the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. I am going to be keeping these because I still do want to give the rest of the series a go, but these, they're not my favourite, but we will see. I then have 2 that I'm keeping, which is The Switch by Beth O'Leary and 1,000 Boy Kisses, 2 that I really recommend, and then getting rid of one, which is Red Queen. I just found this so boring, and yeah, I didn't like it at all. On this shelf, so it's now completely empty, is all of my Freedom McFaddens, which obviously your girl is keeping. I don't know why they're down there, to be honest. I feel like just I'm not a mystery filler girly, so they just kind of get like put down the bottom. Okay, so the lighting is really bad for some reason, but we're just gonna have to roll with it. This is obviously the shelf that I'm trying to get rid of, so I eventually want to move all of these books onto my other one, and a lot of these definitely are keeps. Like we've got my favourites like the Fourth Wing series, ACOTAR, the Naturals, we've got the Bodyguard and the Love Wager, and then I've got all of my Twin Crown special editions along with my Keeper of the Lost City series. So I have got the Night Circus. I could not get into it, it was so boring. And then I'm also decluttering the entire Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. This was one that I wanted to get into. I wanted to be a sci-fi girly and really love it, but it was so confusing. I feel like if I looked away for like 1 second, I kind of forgot which character was which, and I was so lost the whole time. So that's that. I don't know what I'm going to do with these books. I think definitely take some, maybe like of the lesser kind of looked after ones to like a free library, and then maybe try and sell some on Vinted as well. I feel like that'd be a really good option. I'm going to appreciate the mess that I have made doing this. Obviously this is keep, this is keep, all of these here, that's my declutter pile, so they're going, and then all of these are keep. The ones staying on this shelf are a keep. And then all of these, I'm not touching this because this is basically my TBR and I haven't read it yet. And I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of person that even if something's been on my TBR for a while, I'm not going to get rid of it because I don't want to waste my money. So I think what we have to do now is redecorate. We're going to obviously move these books over, and then hopefully we have this shelf spare. Guys, I've just finished. So we have actually successfully emptied all the books off this shelf, which I'm really happy about. And let me just do a quick overview of what I kind of decided to do. I feel like it's not the prettiest that I've ever had on my shelves, but I feel like space-wise, it makes the most sense. So top tier, we have some teddies, and then I did put my Magnolia Parks collection up there with this really nice dangling plant. Then this is like this shelf here, favourite romances, and the next one down is like miscellaneous romance. Obviously a few of my favourites in there as well, but I did pair them with the Frida McFaddens and also another thriller, just because I felt like they deserved to not be on the bottom shelf this time. And then we move into the fantasy section. So I've got obviously Twilight, Powerless, ACOTAR and Fourth Wing. And then some more fantasy. I'm very much a fantasy reader, that's what I've learned from doing this. We've got The Theatre of Glass and Shadows, Shatter Me, the Caraval series, Cruel Prince, Belladonna series, and then obviously moving into the Hunger Games series on the end. And then the next shelf is mainly just more random series, obviously ones that I've loved, like Legend, Twin Crowns, Keeper of the Lost Cities. So that's what that is looking like. And then I do have some overfull TBR, and then these Christmas books is wow. But I feel like I've just done a workout from all of this, but I've been meaning to this for a while, so I'm really glad that we managed to make space. And I still have room on my shelves as well, which means when I read books off my TBR, I can then move them over onto my red shelf. Hope you have enjoyed this video. I've been working my bum off, so definitely give this a like if you're still here or if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you all in the next one.